Now, peace. Once again, it's your boy Juice Winner. This is Old Joe Gritty. Politics as usual. Wow. Right? So, religion is a great part of politics, whether you know it or not. So, I came to explain Julius Caesar being the Vatican's dirty little secret because that's who Jesus Christ is. The Vatican, with the same tactics that you see today through, quote unquote, Freemasonry, which is a system that passes down. So it's known as Freemasonry today, but it's just a system of chicanery. So we're going to get into the history of how they turned Julius Caesar into Jesus Christ. Now, you might have heard of the Moors. Most likely you have if you in the urban community. So, with that, I'm going to be making reference in this because the Moors play a major part in this story, right? Not Morris Science Temple, which is playing a part in the new system that's being developed today. So it's Moorish, meaning that it's coming under the same principles, but it's Moorish. So if you don't know the true stories of the Moors, learn. Go do some research on the Moors, right? And understand what, this whole thing is. And then, well, I'm going to be getting into it, but I'm saying, for your own research, I would advise, just understanding what's in front of you. The groups that's in front of you, you should know what are they promoting. If they got this following and what is this basis, it's only right you find out. So, um, I'm go over here real quick and I'm gonna pull up this article. All right, hold on. Let's see. I just set up I had to reset up a whole new chess.com. I don't really use chess.com. I use Lee Chess. I just feel that Lee Chess has, like, I don't know, more serious competition. So I set it up, and I got something on Twitch where I'll be able to it says I'll be able to stream better and all of that. So whenever I start playing chess, which is every day, but whenever I play, I'll just be seeing if I can stream that and see how it works. Nonetheless, let's keep it pushing. Oh, by the way, you know, this is Street Skelzy, knock 'em out the box. This is my book. It's an urban mystery. It's an urban mystery novel. I stress the mystery part due to the fact that I don't really see a lot of mystery, showcase books in the urban department. So this is a story about two brothers on opposite sides of the law. One a New York City detective and, well, what the other one would be. So these two brothers have to team up and go on a hunt for the person or persons responsible for their father's death. So, they scouring through the city gathering clues. The brother, he teams up with his partner, at the police department. So the partner is also aiding and abetting in this hunt, as well as an exotic dancer who's a possible witness. So It's a whole crew running around and it's a lot of action, but it's not a come up story. The doing these type of crimes to get rich, typical urban novel. It's not that. 400 pages. I've written it while I was incarcerated. Got sent to Attica over a riot. So it took a lot for this book to come home. If you know anything about incarceration and you know how they try to handle your property, it was a lot to get that book home. All right, so let's get into this. I want to bring this up for you. All right, Temple of Caesar. I told you, I'm going to show you how they turned Julius Caesar into Jesus Christ, JCJC, right? And how this is a white man's religion, clearly just off of that information alone. This is why, it wouldn't make sense for people to think that Jesus is black. You know what I mean? Now, you can find your paintings and all of that stuff, and they could have possibly carjacked the whole name. But the Jesus Christ that you know is Julius Caesar. All right. Okay, now here we go. The Temple of Caesar, or Temple of Divus Iulius, Latin, Adius Divi Luli, Italian, Tempia del Divo Giulio, also known as Temple of the Defiled, Julius Caesar, Delumbrum Harum. Right now, we're going to look into this. This is Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was a Roman general and statesman, a member of the first Truvitian, Caesar led the Roman armies into Gallic wars before defeating his political rival Pompey in the Civil War, and subsequently became dictator of Rome from 49 BC until his assassination in 44 BC. He only had a 5-year run. Right? So that's, Julius Caesar. You could go look up more on him. The vocabulary of the ancient Roman religion was highly specialized. It studied affords important information about the religion, tradition, and beliefs of the ancient Romans. The legacy of conspiracies in European culture, history, and its influences on later judicial and religious vocabulary. So just understand that we going into the Caesar Temple, right? Temple of Caesar, and we understand that it's automatically connected to its religion, right? Okay. A Harun, also Latinized, I'm sorry, as Harum, is a shrine dedicated to an ancient Greek or Roman hero, used for com- um, commemoration, my fault, or cult worship of the hero. They were often erected over his or her supposed tomb or centrifuge. I might be saying that wrong. Centrifuge, right? Okay. So that's and we're gonna go into these things. So I'm just, I like to, as we go, just to point it out. Or here's the catch: Temple of the Comet Star, as an ancient structure of the Roman Forum of Rome, Italy, located near the Regia and the Temple of Vesta. Now let me explain something to you before I even go any further. All right. I be on, Facebook, and a lot of people, they post memes and stuff in this question form, right? Hold on, let me um bring this up. There's some of the memes I'm gonna be addressing, but um okay, this one probably don't even make don't matter, but um this is one of the memes. It goes, which character was the hardest? Right? Old Dog, Doughboy, Nino, Brown, and Bishop. So, these are the kind of me. I really don't participate in this one, but because of my answer, I'm gonna give my answer for that one. But any religion that teaches you to love your enemy had to be created by your enemy. This is another one of the memes. you know, and so, that's that. But this is the meme for the reason why I am making this post, right? And it says Jesus' tomb should be the biggest tourist attraction. Oh, um, right? It says Jesus' tomb should be the biggest tourist attraction known to man. The question is, where the fuck is it? And so, what I'm doing now is taking you to Jesus' tomb, right? So, this is just really addressing that. Later, we can get into the great pull off, how they pulled it off to his greatest. But inside this, you should really get a good gist. I'm give you some good understanding. I'm not gonna half ass you, you know, um, on it. Pardon me. All right. So we here um at the temple again, right? History. The temple was decreed by the true True Octavian, right? This is Octavian, right? Caesar Augustus, also known as Octavian, was the first Roman emperor, reigned from 27 BC until his death in AD 14. His status as founder of the Roman Principate has consolidated a legacy of one of most effective leaders in the human history. Right, let's say what it said. Reign. So okay, you got him. Now he's gonna play a major part in this too, right? Marcus Antonius, commonly known in English as Mark Antony, was a Roman politician and general who played a critical role in the transformation of the Roman Republic from a constitutional republic and into aristocratic Roman Empire, right? And Lepidus. Marcus Aemilius Lepidus was a Roman general and statesman and formed the second, alongside Octavius and Mark Antony during the final years of the Roman Republic. Lepidus had previously been a close ally of Julius Caesar. Right? So we get the names up here. Okay, I want you to all of this is gonna play a part. You're gonna understand in a second. So just give me a second. All right. 4 minutes before we take our break. All right. And 42 BC, after the Senate defied Julius Caesar, posthumously, however, it was completed by Octavian alone. He dedicated the Prostilus. These names, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna. Pro style, right? This is the pro style. Is in archaeological term designating temples featuring a row of columns on the front. The term is often used as an adjective. What is my fault? Wait, adjective when referring to the portico of a classical building which projects from the main structure, first used, Greeks, temples, and the later corporation temples. It is still unknown whether its order was iconic, and all of these iconic, right? Order is one of the three, classics, right? Okay, so it's just basically like the style of it. To Caesar, has adoptive father on 18th August 29 BC as part of the Triple Triumph, celebrating the victory over Antony and Cleopatra. It stands on the east side of the main square in the Roman Forum between Regius Temple and Castro and Pollux, and these are just basically these different structures. So when I'm saying them, just understanding, like, I personally don't care, but they do matter because if you understand, like, okay, I explained to you how they were basically turning George Washington into God. The same system, right? The same system that was erected for Julius Caesar is the same system that's erected for George Washington right here. That's why you'll see the White House and these buildings, the structures looking like that because it's set up in the same fashion. That's why when you even, when you in the Masonic Lodge and it tells you about going to the east and taking these steps, these are what you are being indoctrinated into without you knowing. You know what I mean? So, and if you don't believe me, just look at the structure of DC, right? And you put the structures to what I'm giving you here, and you got it. You know what I mean? Pardon me, I got a piece of string coming off my fucking hat. Shit bothering me. I mean, and you will see what I'm saying when it comes to that. Ancient, where we at? 37 seconds. Ancient accounts of Caesar's ceremonies after his death in 44 BC are somewhat confused. According to the Susunians, a controversial funeral was planned for the campus Metrius. I'm gonna keep looking at this. I'm wait till we come back. I'll just read it when we come back. My fault. We got like 7 seconds. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Damn fucking right. Okay. Like I said, you could go up, go on Wikipedia and go into Temple of Caesar. And, because a lot of these words, I don't speak Roman, Greek, whatever the fuck this shit is. So if I don't get that stuff correct, you could judge me and say, the stupid black guy. I don't care. I know what I'm talking about. So to make us all easier, if you see a word and you're like, that word is off, whatever. Fuck you. Fuck your opinions. Let me say, take my book down. I mean, I want to showboat here. Right? So let's go back over here. Right? Temple of Caesar. No, folks, we already did that. Okay. Ancient accounts of Caesar's cremation after his death in 44 BC are somewhat confused. According to, right, this is the person commonly known as, was a Roman historian who wrote during the early imperial era of the Roman Empire. A controversial funeral was planned for the campus Matrius, but the actual cremation in all accounts took place in the Forum, right? This is the Forum, Roman Forum. Also, I'm sorry, this when I get too close to this mic, it makes my nose itch for some reason. All right. I just want to check my mic levels. Make sure y'all can still hear me. All right, all right. Where we at? Where we at? Forum. All right. The Roman Forum, also known by its Latin name, Forum Romanium, is a rectangular forum plaza surrounded by the ruins of several important ancient government buildings at the center of the city of Rome. Citizens in the ancient city referred to this space originally a marketplace, right? So just under, on on where we at here, forum. So I wanted you, to understand the concept. So even when you see DC and all of that, understand the concept, right? After after a rousing speech by Mark Antony, Caesar's body was brought to the forum by his political supporters and placed in front of the Regia, right? That's this. The Regia is a two-part structure in ancient Rome lying along the Sacria Via at the edge of the Roman Forum that originally served as the residence or one of the main headquarters of kings of Rome and later to the offices of the Pontifex Maximus is the highest religious office in Rome. I want see this is why certain things I make sure I read because I want you to understand, right? So it was used originally to serve residents of one of the main headquarters of kings of Rome, and later as the office of Pontifex Maximus, the highest religious official in Rome. So when Rome was being switched over in the Vatican and all of that, these were the seats that they were taking. So they had to keep the homage and all of that to the originators of the seat because it was like a silent takeover. You know what I mean? So they had to keep these images while slowly shifting the people, you know? So hold on, let me, I know I don't be that loud and shit, so I like to make sure that I come through clear. I like my speech in the yellow. You know what I mean? So where we at here? The Regia was also traditionally the residence of Rome's kings. The choice of location may also reflect proposal popular support for Caesar's royal status as a dictator perpetual. Right, right. Let's see what this is. Was the office held by Julius Caesar from the 26th of January or 15th February of the year 44 until his death on 15th of March. By abandoning the time restrictions usually applied to in the case of Roman dictatorship, it's elevated Caesar's dictatorship, right? So remember, he's a dictator now, the sole controller, the ruler, God, right? So the sources disagree about the precise sequence of events. Caesar Dio, no, Cassius Dio. Lucas Cassius Dio, also known as Dio Cassius, was a Roman historian and senator of Macedon Greek origin. He published 80 volumes of the history of ancient Rome, beginning with the arrival of, and in Italy. This is, I guess, the of the volumes documented the subsequent founding of Rome. I'm sorry, I'm looking at something here. Okay, says the crowd wanted to burn Caesar's body on the Capitolium. Okay. Then seizing his body, some wished to convoy it to the Rome into the room in which he had been slaughtered, and others in the capital and burned it there. But being prevented by the soldiers who feared that the theater and the temple would be burned to the ground at the same time, they placed it upon the pyre there in the forum without further ado. So I guess like the ceremony of the burning of the body is, where it was at. They took it so serious. They're like, nah, man, we gotta take him even to the spot. This is how the power of this guy, right? But Sutidius suggested a divine intervention with hints of more mundane popular demonstrations. The beer on the Astria was carried down into the forum by magistrates and ex magistrates, and while some were urging that it be burned in the temple of Jupiter on the Capitol, others in the hall of Pompeii, others in the halls of Pompeii On a sudden, two began with swords by their sides and brandishing a pair of darts set fire to it with blazing torches. And at once the throng of bystanders heaped upon its dry branches. The judgment seated with the branches, and whatever else could serve as its offering. Then the musicians and actors tore off their robes, which they had taken from the equipment of his trumpet, and put it on for this occasion, rent them to bit and threw them into the flames. And and the veterans of the leagues in arms with which they had adorned themselves at for the funeral. Many of the women too offered up the jewels which they wore and the amulets and robes of their children. Do you understand the love and the you know that they had for this person? And so this is just the first part of the scheme, because this is a big scheme. So don't think that, oh, you got the answer, like, oh wow, oh no, this is bigger. This is how they took over your whole mind. So they implanted everything and everywhere, and they're doing the same thing now. So I'm telling you this, I'm one of them people of never get stuck in the past, because situations are happening right now. So if you don't know, I'm only telling you about the past to aid you in seeing it happen right now. That's why I tell you with the George Washington, all of that is of this time. You might not think so, George Washington, that's 400 years, but that's of this time, the gradual implements inside your brain, the implantations inside your brain, should I say. All right? Let's see here. Let me come over here real quick. All right? So I'm just checking, if I ever get somebody to view me, I just want to make sure, I can communicate with them and whatnot. So let's go back over here. All right. Aaron added a merchandise wax effigy of Caesar displaying all of Caesar's wounds. A cremation within the city's ceremonial heart was both unusual and politically charged. Caesar's prayer recalls that ceremony and firebrand. Like, here we go. Right. Roman politicals and street allegory during the time of the first was the most colorful personalities of his era. Colitis was descending from the, Clinus genes, one of the Roman oldest and noble patrician families, but he converted to and be adopted. See, this is all the shift, the religious shift, the popular esteem, like just like what you see now with the woke and conscious movement. So the blinding happens within that stage. While you thinking you being woke, and they adding all of this stuff, the match and all of that, inside of that is the shift. So you won't even see it because you so caught up in the moment, the new discovery. That's why I'm glad I knew all of this stuff as a youth. So any of the stuff, the Bible stuff and all of that, like I got all of that out. So the people acting like they discovering it now, if they could tell you, man, at 9 years old, I was questioning and boldly asking. Like standing in front of adults and they looking at me like, how dare this little bastard come and question me? I'm like, hey, well, I ain't had nobody to tell me, hush, boy. So I'm going to ask. You know what I mean? I wasn't raised with the be quiet. You know what I mean? And if you tried to tell me that, I wasn't going to listen anyway. So, no, where we at here? Um, where we at? So, boom, temple, popular, Caesar's death, and another witch was, okay. The popular site of oaths and sacrifice. Right. Ceremonies within the cities and the haunts were both unusual. Boom. Um, the popular enthusiasm led to the creation of an unofficial monument on the east side of the Forum, opposite of Regius, which was the site of oaths and sacrifice. Right? So if hold on, let me pull up this so you know that I'm not bullshitting you. Um, uh, okay, let's go to image. Uh, let's go to layout. All right, let's go up here. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this one, so hold on. All right, so I'm gonna put this up. Not sure if you can see the layout of the floor. All right. I'm gonna try to give you another one. Okay. All right. So you see, you got the treasury, senior deacon, right? You got the senior warden, junior deacon, inner guard, right? Tyler. That's to watch the door because, like the vagina, is only one way in and one way out. So this is giving birth. That's why you hear birth of a nation. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever plans and all stuff that hatched were hatched inside these type of walls where nobody was able to see. Right? So if you know anything about, I'm trying to find out, okay, three lights, right? Let's see if I can zoom in. Okay, here we go. Right? Now, you got the worshipful master, right? Now, if you see right here, it's in its legal form, right? Then you got your three lights, you got the altar, right? And once again, so you got the cross, in all three of these, right? Preparation room. Now this is where the candidates where you would be. They would hold you here, and then you come out and you make the steps. But you don't know that you are being indoctrinated into this and these are the steps, and who are you paying homage to, and these type of things, because you would probably think it was silly, and so you wouldn't go in with the indoctrination and the new shift, right? Where we go, then so just this damn microphone. Fuck up my nose. I might have to just take this what's the name off. Alright. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Forgive me if I keep, sniffling and shit. I know that's annoying in itself. So, let me go here, right? All right, all right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me good? Try to have the guard on so it won't have that pop sound and shit. Anyway, where we at? Where we at? Okay, by the years spotted, right? Monuments in different times. Where Regina was the site and oath and sacrifice. There seems to have been at least two monuments at different times. An initial one which was removed the consul within 6 weeks of Caesar's death, and another which was rebuilt in the summer of 44 BC. By the fall of that year, the spot had become a physical imprint of the pardon me, Cassian movement. Octavian held a public rally of Caesar's veterans in November, and publicly swore his fidelity to Caesar's memory with his hand extended towards the columns, topped and topped with a statue which now marks the spot of Pyre. Sorry for messing that whole shit up. I messed that whole thing up. By the fall of that year, the spot had become a physical epicenter. In the Caesarian movement, Octavian held a public rally of Caesar's veterans in November. In the publicity, swore his fidelity to Caesar's memory with his hand extended towards the column, topped with the statue which now marks the spot of Pyre. Pyre. If you know anything about these symbols, these hand symbols in Freemasonry, these be where these things come from. You know, gotta understand what you reading, and if you don't know about, like, I guess, like Freemasonry and all of that, you wouldn't know how to make the connection. Um, by then, Octavian, Anthony, okay, okay, second, right. Went to solo schools and support the new regime. Formally divided Caesar in 42, and a decree with the tribal assembly undertook the creation of the temple of recognition of his divinity, a powerful assertion of populist supremacy. The pursuit of the Caesar assassins was a more pressing matter, however. The work proceeded slowly at all. It was likely that Octavian partners did not share his enthusiasm for the Cassian cult, which provided him with a powerful political base. Construction may not have begun in earnest until 32 or 31 BC. In event, the temple was not formally dedicated until 29 after Octavian had defeated his erstwhile partner Anthony and assumed sole rulership of the Roman world. I don't know what this let's see what this is right here. Hold on. Let's look right here. Oh, this whole time, yo, I didn't let y'all look. My fault, man. Okay. Rival. All right. Forum, old pass, one time. Okay. I'm just like this. I always take the time to look it up. Even though my grammar might not be good. Don't think I don't be knowing what shit mean. You know what I mean? So as we get an understanding of what is being presented here, we see that it was a dedication to making somebody name live forever because of the greatness of that empire. So if you know the Bible, if you understand its purpose, even from its conception, because remember, Jesus is the New Testament, right? So if Jesus is the New Testament, and I'm saying, well, Julius Caesar, right? And you're like, well, okay, even if you're right, how does, let me see, how does that change, the whole structure? Like, okay, sure, they got Julius Caesar and they honored him, but how did you get everybody to turn this into God? Ah, so I kept pointing out certain people, right? Now the last part right here, I also do want to read, right? I'm sorry, I'm breaking up some weed. I said I want to weed. I want to read, but I was breaking up some weed at the time. Okay, so I do want to bring up this one part right here. All right. The temple was finally completed. No, consecrated as part of Octavian's triple triumph in 29, celebrating his victories of Dalmatia, Dalmatia, right, is a region on the east shore of that Adriatic Sea, a narrow belt stretching from the island of Rab, okay, right? Egypt, and a battle of Actium was a naval battle fought between the maritime fleet led by Octavian and the combined fleets of both Mark Antony and Cleopatra. What is this? 7 Philippopor. The battle took place on September 2nd, 31st BC, in the Ionian Sea near the former Roman colony of Actium, right? And remember that last part right here that's gonna play it. I actually did a show about that. So if you go into one of my other shows, and this is, well, it's gonna get into this anyway again, right? So we're into the trilogy, right? We're showing the person who's gonna keep this going, right? This push. He's gonna keep it going, right? Pardon me, I'm over here, like I said, preparing. Um, he's gonna keep this going. He's gonna keep this push. And now they're intertwined. Remember, the church is taking over Rome, right? The religious factors are the ones who's in the heads of the people, and they're doing this through setting up this system of taking a hero, because that's what gods are, heroes. Well, one of the factors of God, right? That's why you see Moses, that great I am, he a hero. He's liberated those people. People don't understand that. And so I point out, the real Moses, doesn't go by the name of Moses, of course, but it's Moses. You know? Pardon me, pardon me. So, in that, we're going to get into this right here. Now, easy. This right here can actually be brought up through just a simple calendar, right? First, we're going to go into calendar of the year. Right, okay, whatever. Okay, it didn't make um let's go into an image real quick. All right. Make sure you can see this. All right. So it doesn't matter which calendar, as long as it's a complete year calendar, right? Just for me to explain this to you. Oh, perfect. What do we see right up on top? Julian, Julius Caesar, right? So, Julius Caesar would be where? I don't know if you can see where my mouse is at, but it's July. July is named after Julius Caesar. August is named after Augustine. So a lot of times when you hear the Latin people, or you hear the woke people, this is to the woke people. Because like I said, this I'm answering the memes. So I'm talking to the wokies, who ask these questions and never seem to offer any answers. I want to give y'all some answers, so that way when you talking to somebody, you don't mislead them with half-ass information. You could actually provide them with some information. Information can't be fit in a meme, as you can see. This takes real information, real providing. So, July and August were named after Julius Caesar and Augustine, right? Watch this. Just so you can know that I'm not bullshitting. All right? Okay. Close this. Come back up here again. All right. Who was July and August named after? Let's go here. Yeah. What does it tell you? Let me take myself away real quick there. What does that say to you? Huh? Julius Caesar. For other use, see July is the seventh month, right? Boom, July, right? The Julian and Georgian calendar. Now, understand what that's saying, okay? Because we're going to get into this. I'm telling you, explaining to you how they made Julius Caesar a god. A god by the name that you know now as Jesus Christ. Right? Well, just in case you thinking I'm bullshitting you, yes, Julius Caesar is actually Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christ is actually Jesus. I mean, Julius Caesar. Whatever. You know the hell I'm saying. Right? Georgian calendar in the fourth of 7 months, right? And have a length of 31 days. And it was named by the Roman senator in honor of Roman General Julius Caesar in 44 BC, it being the month of his birth. Right? Okay. The winter months, January and February, remain a time reflection, peace, and bringing in purification after Caesar's death. The months Quarantilis was that was, I guess that was the original name that they telling you, but we're gonna get into this, right? Quintilius was renamed July in honor of Julius Caesar in 44 BC. And last, Sextiles was renamed August in honor of Roman Emperor Augustine in 8 BC. So, it took him a little bit longer, but he got his name up in there as well. All right, pardon that. All right, so I'm hoping you're still, understanding what is being taken place. All right. A movement was passed in Rome. That's why you have the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican. Right? So just understand that everything is still going to lead you right to this same place. So if it's leading you to that place, it behooves you to do some research. Right? So as you see, I'm not just reading something from one little oh shit. I didn't know I had this on there. As you can see, it won't just be limited, right? Because inside there it didn't mention this stuff. So Then you go to the Council of Nicaea, right? Let's go into this. The Council of Nicaea, right? The first Council of Nicaea, ancient Greek, was the council of Christian bishops convent, convened in the Bethanizic Turkey, right, by the Roman Emperor Constantine in AD 325. Right, council was the first effort to attain consensus in the church through an assembly representing Christendom. Right? So, remember, we got the Greeks and Romans. Right? And then you also see who else is the Turks. Right? But we're going to, what is how you pronounce? Right? A town and administration district in the province of Bursa, Turkey. It was historically known as Nicaea, from which the modern name was derived. The town lies in a fertile basin at the eastern end of Lake, bounding the range of hills in north and south. Right? Crows fly, boom, boom, whatever. Just letting you get a quick understanding, right? Because a lot of people they'll mention this stuff, but it's just a little extra to tell you the rest. I mean, most of it, I guess, shit, you should be reading them for yourself. You know what I mean? Doing this research. If you got any questions, then you should be kind of like, seeking it. But a lot of this, is supposed to be your natural curiosity. I mean, why would I've never been a Christian, you know? Or if I was a fake Christian, and that goes for Islam too. Like if I was a, Muslim, I wasn't a real Muslim. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I just wasn't it just wasn't in me because I always had certain information. So I mean, for the camaraderie, of the people and not to go in there and, oh, this saying and this is not like that. I never indulge with anybody that I'm pushing my agenda. You see, this is me writing up here on a show. Whoever wants to see it sees it. It's not imposed or forced upon anybody, you know. So if you want to believe, something in the sky, it's not for me to argue with you. Because based on the title, you should have had a fairly good idea if if you wanted to hear it or not. And as I was going on, you had the choice to step away, say, well, hold on, I don't want to hear this. You know what I mean? Like he talking something I don't want to hear, right? And this is, well, me, I always say this because I address the Bible thumper and, pardon me, the Bible basher. Because for me, they both the same. Neither one of them truly know what they're talking about. One has you up in the sky and nowhere is that reality, right? Outside of what I'm going to get into, right? Outside of placing these same people in the sky, right? That's why they say as above as below. It's because they attacked you in all realms, right? Pardon me, if you know me, you know I'll be. I don't know. I'm real bugged out when it comes to rolling my weed. I like it to burn a certain way. So when I roll certain times, then the Cuban comes out of me, and you know I want it to be packed right, rolled. You know what I mean? So if you see me doing this, just just bear with me. You know what I mean? It's my personal pleasure. You know what I mean? So now we're into at above as below, right? We also seeing a place. I hope you see the name of the place, you know, in Turkey. All right. I hope you understand the the Moors, right? You know, Turkey, Morocco, this whole area. I hope you understand the history of the things that's going to be said through not maybe not today, but through this series as well. You know, I'm doing my who the who the Ados and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is just basically who's Julius Caesar, man. Like who, you know, who's Jesus and how he became one and the same. How you took something and made it something else because it was just that simple to do. Through time, people forget. You know what I mean? So they like the people, and I mean the immediate, like nobody, like a majority of the people is going through what we going through now, you know, whatever distractions and whatever the case may be, you know, for these resets, these great resets and all of that, um, the people are distracted. So they don't even do what I'm doing. There's nobody going, wait a minute, you know, this is what was taking place and that I'm doing that. You know, like nobody was paying attention except the ones who was performing the task. You know what I'm saying? Like they do. Just like now, they know. So after you understand this, you go, oh, now I understand as above is below. Because when we look at the stars, right, the constellations and all of that are based on white people, right? What did it say when it came down to? Hold on, let me go inside here. Right, where we at? Let's go back here. Y'all can come with me. Let's see where we at. Mark Anthony ceremony. Boom, boom, boom. Alright. Pardon me. Pardon me. Boom. Alright. Hold on. Funeral. Two women towards their clothes. Now, if you know in the reference, you know the Bible of the tearing off the clothes and all of that by King David and all of that stuff. But that's not. That doesn't have nothing to do with Jesus, but it's a ritual. Um, here we go. Where we at? Boom. Second. for. I'm looking for the part when they was talking about the Jupiter, like the Jupiter room and all of that. Well, as you see, these were deers. When you think about the planets, right? Watch this. List of planets, right? Venus, Mars, Jupiter. Who were the planets named after? So, right? All of the planets except for Earth were named after Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Venus, and Mercury were given their names thousands of years ago, and the other planets were not discovered until such later telescopes were invented. And that's going to play a part as well. No, because when we talk about Illuminati and all of that, the Anunnaki, all of this is playing a part. So when you got the people who's acting like they're enlightening the next generation, they're really getting caught up in the same cycle. That's it. They're just being trained into this cycle, this system, and they don't know. So now we get into as above, as below, right? We get into that now. If you checked out, like I said, I got a book coming out. It's called Job and the Stone. Now that is gonna explain a lot of what I'm saying, but these are side. Like say if I was writing like 1,000 books, these would be the books that I would be writing. These stories right here, this information right here. But I'm just putting it out there, and if somebody else understands the information, more power to them. If they try to use it, oh, trust me, my information is out there. I'm gonna sue your ass. Yeah, so if you catch your ass repeating this stuff without giving me some knowledge and homage of it, I'm after your ass. You know? Because nobody else is taking the time to give this information. Everybody else is misleading you because they're in on the next scheme. All right? All right, all right. I don't like them too much weed. That's enough. Um, Looking for my lighter real quick. 7 minutes. All right, all right. So I covered the months, right? I covered you the months, July and August. I'm telling you the stars, right? The constellations. I'm also giving you the planets. So as above, as below. He who controls all of this controls this. So here, what I'm trying to do is help you break the chain. Be savage. Take it all back. Don't be civilized. Be savage and take it all back. What I mean by savage, I meant, hey, you call it Venus, I call it Vajandagu. It don't matter what that means. It's all nothing that ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't worry about what it means to me. That's it. So even the names, everything don't have nothing to do with anything you fucking know because I'm savage. I'm going wild. Off your radar, off your books, off your charts, off everything. And let the voice of the ancestors speak. You know, I let the ancestors tell me what that planet is. So I got a whole list of names for them, and I'm just throwing out some shit now. But inside for me and my peoples is it. I'm showing the people that if they could do it, you can do it. I'm showing you how it was done, how it's still being done. You wanna understand something? Read. All you gotta do is start off with the simple, the imagery, right? What is it? Mackie and Duncan rituals. All right, I'm just going in here. This is Duncan's rituals and monitors, right? I'm really trying to bring up the actual image of them. These books right here was just the the devices used to entice you, to bring you in. Duncan's rituals of Freemasonry. All right. So give me for a second. I'm just looking for something I can show you. It's something specific that I'm looking for. So I don't have any of the. Here we go. Um no, that's not it actually. But you can just put Freemasonic dual guard symbol sign. Freemasonic dual guard. All right, I don't need the videos. Thank you though. Um, all right. So now we in here. As you see stuff like this, right? These are in reference. When you see these pictures, like on the side right here, you see these are in reference to those signs that they speak of. So when you doing it, you are for those people perpetrating these things. So like if you in the legal system, These are the signs that set up paying homage to that. Not that stuff. Pay attention to these, right? Because these, see these pictures on the side here? These are what those references to those statements inside of this historical events. These are the signs and symbols. So that's why when you see them, like especially when you watch, say you watching Law and Order, and you see certain, if you look at this right from this point now, if you look at this, you will see them do it, and like as maybe not Law and Order, but like real, understanding real legal situations. But you can see it. Pardon me. You can see it within the TV shows. You know what I mean? But now, once you understand that, then you understand the messagings and all of that that's actually being sent to you. Hypnotism, right? So in this, in this, right, we're seeing the construction of Julius Caesar becoming Jesus Christ. Now, I told you, even in America, right, we take the symbol of the Washington Monument, which is George Washington, who's considered what? The father of this nation, right? And so I be always nervous when I see stuff like George Floyd, George Zimmerman, um, what's the what's her name? Georgiana something. I forgot. This is some lady, she's in part of the Eastern Stars and all of that. So seeing that, I'm studying that for this day and time. The remaking of a god. So through time, it becomes these things. When we well, I don't know if I'm gonna be keep going into the George Washington. I mean the Julius Caesar like that. Like I'm just bringing it to you. Somebody else. I have a lot of information on it, but I'm giving it through. Like I said, I'm gonna give you the Moors. I'm gonna give you all of these different factors on this system because there's a lot that I didn't say. So, because it's gonna be coming out in other organizations, so I don't want to open up a can of worms and then not, address it. So anything that's left here will, like the empty spots, will be addressed, and you'll be able to put the pieces together yourself. But you know, um, I am making the references so you'll know if you see this. Oh, I'll tag in the more ones or whatever, and all of the ones that's connected with this. You can see that whole series and understand the great deception. This woke, enlightened, conscience, whatever movement is not new. But that system is a moving system. It's a moving system. So now you know what as New World Order, right? There's a system being set up right now, whether it be through a video game or TV show, whatever, where they making these little references, and from that they born this cult following. So it could be Star Trek, the Ewoks, and you see how George Lucas understood because look, he actually designed a whole language for the characters. Right? Well, if he did it or if he had help or whatever, but the fact that there a whole language separate from anything and if you don't, you can learn the language. See, so it's an actual language. That's the structure. So even with that, you would have to go, wait a minute, to have a cult following and to have languages where people know in this time, those could be the factors that lead to a whole world in belief. Because more people would catch on to that. And since it's been in so many places, after a while, it could be the reference to. You ever seen the Book of Eli, where they got this book and they making these references? Their life is being structured based off of basically the Bible. So here it is, you setting up this formation. A formation is being set up right now. So when I'm talking to Julius Caesar being Jesus, that's irrelevant because they already come in and breaking that system down. So I'm not telling you nothing that the woke community is only giving you half truths of, because that's how that system works. See, it works off of half truths because it's not really destroying it, it's destroying that part of it. One you can't get rid of. It's written in stone. Listen, 2,000 years ago, a prophet came by the name of Muhammad. No words have been changed. It's the way it is. That's the way it is. Solid. You can't destroy that. So you would have to just like basically remove the whole planet because it's written in. Like I said, you can't. It ain't even that spot. Everywhere they have the book, right? It's in many different languages, but not changed. You're not getting rid of that system, right? Because it even inside its written text, it mentions the things of the Old Testament, the Abrahamic belief system. It's connecting back to that. So the only way to get rid of that would be also having to get rid of Judaism, right? So you have a system that's set up. Now you have a system where anybody with enough research skills in a system of deception. See, I have a skill of unraveling a lie. Like I'm the type of person if you talk to and you bullshitting, you gonna be mad at me because I'm not even gonna call you a lie. I'm gonna let you keep talking, and as you talking, you not even gonna be realizing I'm unraveling your lie. So by the time you know it that you caught out there, you can't even backpedal because I walked you right into the truth because I have a keen, you know, sound in my ear like for the bullshit, the missing words and all that. For a lot of people, I don't even care. They don't really matter. You know what I mean? Some people are master just avoiding. So for people like that, you put them in a situation where them is revealed. You know what I mean? Like you can't get them to say nothing because they mastered the not saying nothing. So you like, okay, cool. I'll just put you in a position to show everything that you was leaving out, and I still get the same results. But that's like not even worth it. Like most people, like I'm just in a regular conversation revealing it. Only people who know to do that shit, people that, that try to avoid shit, people that might have watched you so long destroy many of your people with the truth. You know what I mean? But that's just what it is. I'm that type of person. I'm not gonna let you bullshit me. Cause I'm not gonna bullshit you. 90%, probably a little more percentage, but give or take like 90% of the things that I talk about when I'm with somebody conversating is facts. Like I'm not bullshitting, I'm not trying to get over, not trying to run game, none of that. Like I've never been around people that and I said, I've been in situations, very, very profitable situations, very opportunistic situations. And they even wanted you to utilize that situation. But they wanted you to utilize it, me, myself, to utilize it because it would benefit them. And I just got something with anybody trying to use me. And that's not beneficial for yourself if you chasing the devil's paradise. In the devil's paradise, everybody gets used. Everybody gets used. So when I listen to people complaining that was in the devil's paradise and they, oh, yo, this person, yo, they did, I'm like, I can almost guarantee you was over there for a purpose yourself as well. That's just how I think. Like that's my mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm on it like that. Like word, yeah, they did you like that, but I can almost guarantee you was over there for your own personal gain as well. I can almost guarantee you that. So then when we argue loyalty, that's why nobody could ever tell you that I ever argue with them about loyalty. I never called anybody loyal. I tell people all the time, I'm not a loyal person. I'm honorable and noble. So even if you not around, I'm still this person. So it had nothing to do with the person. See, it's separate. Loyal is to that, but that usually 99.90% out of the time is financial. Some type of gain is there. Why do you think, even in marriages, through honor, what is it? Through richness, through richer rapport, sickness, and health. It's like forcing you in this bind of loyalty, forcing you, to really forcing you to be honorable and noble. Because the loyalty would break if those things were to fail one or the other. If your health failed you, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't have honor and a noble, character, I know plenty of people just, you know what I'm saying? That's an honor and noble thing to stay around no matter what. Just like richer or poorer. So these are the things right there. So I be like, yo, I always been honorable. You can't buy me. So if I'm telling you that this is my character, like no matter where I went, I wouldn't give a fuck if, I'm on the block where I grew up or a million miles away and I don't know nobody. If somebody bumped into me, like, yeah, he the same dude. Everywhere you go, he the same dude. Like it's not a facade, it's not a front. And that's what you supposed to be able to travel with. See, a person who don't travel was a person who's not really them. They the environment that they in. And they don't even know how to get out of that environment. If that makes sense. Like seriously. Like if you see somebody and they don't like get off the block or anything, or get out of a certain area, certain south side, north side. You know what I mean? Bankhead, Buckhead, whatever. You know what I mean? If they don't know anything but that, that's telling you that they prisoners, and so that's not even the real them. You don't even know the real them yet. They are what the neighborhood and the people told them they have to be. That's just a fact. Because when you in another place, how many places could you go before you know how they go like, yeah, there's only a certain amount of time before the real you show. But when you constantly bombarded in a community that that you allowed to, mold you and shape you into that, only way to get out of that is to leave. And then you can see if the real them, you know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. For me, a lesson that I learned, you know what I mean, and seeing people and whatnot. So, pardon me, yeah. And I'm just saying this, to get back over to, these, the saying how you can get rid of a system because all I gotta give you to have truth, the truth to reveal that. Me, I'm giving you the whole truth. I'm breaking down all of these systems and how it plays a part, how everything is connected. So I'm not just throwing a meme out there and a couple of memes and saying things. I'm really taking the time to give it a breakdown for you. What you do with the information is on you. You can go, that shit is bullshit. Or you can go, wait a minute. Let me do some more. He already, showed me some information. All you gotta do is just go find out yourself. I'm still gonna be continue giving you the information, but it doesn't stop nobody to go and bring the information that they know, not regurgitating it. Yo, boom, boom. So even when they say it, even if they think you being cocky, like, yeah, I know that, but they know that we are all on the same page. And I didn't have to give you all of that. You just from the information, the rest of it was you. So there ain't no, oh yo, I've read this book. Yo, did you hear this dude? I can't give you no people. I can just give you a whole bunch of bullshit information and going, nah. But from that bullshit information, knowing how to put together like a good detective, you know what I mean, and putting it up on the board and knowing how to find the culprit. I told you I write mysteries. So this is how I can prove that I can, my mystery prowess. I'm showing you the illest scheme trick played on you, and I'm gonna try to attempt, if you catch it, showing you how it's being employed right now. How the new system is set up, and even that new system must have that control over you. So you think about the woke community, the conscious, right? That's the new enlightenment, right? So you're supposed to be studying what they bring in with this information right here. So then again, a person can sit down and have that conversation. With like, yo, yeah, 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 oh yeah, you seen it, right? Oh, because I make the references, but if you don't know whether how it was working in the past, and as I'm telling you how it's working now, because you want to, for me, I got to do both at the same time. It's impossible to tell you about the past, or put it like this: it's impossible to tell you how it's working in the present without breaking down in a working. In a working system, something that I can show you in real time. See, I'm showing you, through the mind, how they caught you through. Because you got to remember, at that time, it was no TVs. So to control the people was through the stars. That's why when you look at TV and movies, who, just want to make sure to smoke, right? Who do you call them? Stars. Why do you call them stars? Because you got people like Venus in the sky, right? You got Jupiter, you got Mars, you got a great drama going on in the sky, the story of the gods, which captivated the people. Because as they spoke those things, things happened. Yeah, called sorcerers and seers, who controlled the kingdom. This group of people were the ones who truly controlled the kingdom. So I'm giving you the jewels. Bring this picture back up here. So I'm giving you the jewels. Oh, trust me, I'm giving them to you. I'm telling you how they got you, what they did, the game they ran, and how it's constantly still working. What do you worship? What they say, worshiping idols. They put this stuff in there, and then they ask you who's your idol. Yeah, the devil is an ill motherfucker, man. The devil is ill. The devil tells you, right, programs in your brain to what? You're not supposed to worship idols. Then he turns around and asks you, who's your idol? I was watching Raising Dion season 2, and the little white kid, he's the bad guy, right? Now Dion, he calls himself Mind Mover. You know what I'm saying? That's his name because he moved things with his mind. Cool. You know, very feminine show, but it's cool. You know what I mean? They'll again, the removal of the father, and yeah, he's not. You gotta see it. The white man can return from the dead, but nah, not the black man. You know what I mean? This is you'll see if you ever watch it. But anyway, inside there, the little black kid, I think his name is Brandon Brian, some shit with a B. I'm not good with names. That's real. Like I'm real bad with names and shit. you know, um, so um he the white kid, he has the power to get into your mind. So he's walking Dion around his mind. It's like an Eminem thing where it's all dark and like as far as like seeing his moms get killed and he's teamed up with the bad guy and he's enjoying this badness. You know what I mean? But his power is the ability to he can't okay, he was explaining that I can't get you to do things, but I can get you to see things. And if you see things, what you do is based on that. So I'm getting you to see something, to blind somebody, and then say if they walk into a truck, it's on them. Wow. That's how the devil play. Yeah, the devil plays a system of it don't care as long as it keeps moving. So you see, the system was taken over by the feminist trans movement, right? So that's what you see now. That's why you see the dictation of, you know, the education and whatever. And, but that system is supposed to be, this is according to the Bible, right? That system basically is what's supposed like this is like the Leviathan, where Leviathan is let out of his cage for 1,000 years, I believe it is, and after that, supposed to be, chained up and all of that. So this is that from what I gather. You know what I mean? So you got to understand there's a facilitator, and all of the information is already set inside you. That's why when they make the music and the art, it's already implemented. So now it's put in the background of your mind. And so it's hypnotism on a mass level through chicanery. If you know, once again, I'll pull up chicanery for you. Hold on a minute. I believe I still have it up, right? Um, right? Take me away. Chicanery, the use of trickery to achieve political, financial, or legal purpose. Right? So we have this understanding that it's a system that shifts you. The best way the only name that I truly know by is chicanery. It shifts itself, but this is what it is. So how you use it is ill. Can you find something on chicanery? Sure. I mean, right, didn't I just provide chicanery right there? Chicanery, right? Right. Chicanery meaning, right? Go look for it. Go find out, you know, chicanery. And then from there, you come back and, hopefully you could add to it. Well, let me see if anybody, hold on one second. All right. So these are the things that I offer to the table. Real talk. This is what I offer. I don't never come to the table and like a lot of people, they just be rambling and they don't really offer you anything outside of what everybody else is co-signing. I stepped to the side, did my own research search for many a years, many a years. This ain't overnight. This ain't something that was overnight. I'm just able to put it in these contexts through the simplest of the organizations and symbols where it's still a giant can of worms. Where, like I said, I personally did the research, but as you can see, just to even give an X amount of information, shit, we 2 hours in. So, you know what I mean? So you think about it. You know what I mean? As far as how much you put into your research into which direction and what you truly want to know. Me, I just heard it all. So, you know, I was just always taking the time to learn and read about it, hear it, like word. Shit. I tell you, I met Prince working in Barnes and Nobles. I was around books all the fucking time. I'm always reading. So, this is an interruption. But this is me saying, nah, here, let me give it to the people. Now they can have some information. Somebody could run around somewhere and, oh, yo, I bet you didn't know. Yeah, there you go. And the people who get it be is in luck because you know what? I ain't got no damn followers. So it don't even fucking make a difference. You know what I mean? That's the funny part about it. When they do get it, they be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my information. You know what I mean? As you can see, I'm just giving you the cut, but I got it all here. So, and I got the notes and all that. I'm just not bringing it up. I like the freestyle. They say you're not supposed to, but I don't know. I got no time to really prep because I'm constantly always involved in new research. The stuff I'm giving is like this stuff is old as shit for me. It's just that oh word, yeah, you got these outlets where you can get it out. You know what I mean? So I'm giving you old information for me. Like this is the kind of information that I constantly get into arguments with people over in time. So I just said, wow, you know what? I could utilize these conversations and put them into these contexts, and then I never have to argue about that because I can easily go, hey, you know what? Here, look at that video right there. This is me breaking all of that down. If you, instead of me arguing, if you ever get a chance, just check out that video type of a thing. Or somebody run across this information one day and go, damn, that old nigga was smart as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he really knew some shit. Got 5 minutes left, people. And I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So this is what I always bring to the table. Something and I'm always going back to certain things like chicanery and because that's the number one. It's always gonna come back to me breaking down a system. You figure out who's the new members, the new names, because it's always shifting. New trends make new slangs, new everything. It's the artist who keeps the shift. They the ones who put it, who has it inside. That's where the revolutions and all of that are. That's why they tell certain people, like don't like the music, the TVs. If you not built for that, you like that's definitely not something you supposed to let your child watch. I tell you, I got videos of me with my son. You know what I mean? And I had puppets when my son was a baby. Like if he watched TV, we watched TV. If we played, it was with the toys, and I'm the dialogue, and I'm the things. Baby, let's say baby mother. My son's mother, was looking at me like I'm bugging, but she couldn't understand that what I'm saying. Like, like I'm like, no, listen, monitor everything that he's getting up into definitely up into like 5. Everything that he's getting, you make sure you monitor that because of the imagery inside of these cameras. You want to make sure that the messages, even if you, and so don't think that even if you just listening to something that there might not be visuals, or just because you watching something, well, if you watching, most likely you're gonna hear it, right? But inside of this, if you not keen and going, whoa, What you just say? Oh no, we can't watch this no more. Nigga, what? No, no. And you see, they usually get that by the other parents. Oh yeah, my child like such and such, and the same routine of when you was in school and being hip to certain programs. You see what I'm saying? Programs. Being programmed. So when you in school, you knew because certain people were having conversations about certain things, and then that would, push them in certain directions and menthols to what's that shit? I don't know. So I don't smoke cigarettes, but these characteristics of people was set out by these images from back then. Because you don't got cigarette ads now. But these were the images placed in Cools, Newports, and why they're geared towards the urban community. Winston's, like that country, white boys, Marlboros. You understand what I'm saying? This was pumped on them. And then we see it was all for political purposes, right? And then they go, whoa, you can't do that. You can't put that in these ads. Chicanery. So if they argue that within the ads and all of that with Coke and all of that, then I'm making these videos so people can get on board with me trying to put in this giant lawsuit. Anybody really interested, let me know. I'll be out in like 15 seconds, but these are what it's all for because if you see what I'm alluding the system and how to really address it. Peace. I'm out. Juice one.